Welcome back to Traffic Masters Academy. In this section of the video marketing module, I'm going to be discussing video editing basics and tricks. Now, when you're first getting started with online video, the editing portion is either the one that people seem to leave out and then can never get their video to upload because it has to be edited and rendered first. And this concept can be a little bit intimidating. However, I'm going to show you the basics and what you need to focus on. All of the other things is not really something, all of the technical, deep-seated things is not something you need to start with. Here is the basic premise. This is going to seem really simple, but I'm telling you, this is how I've done it. I started out with absolutely no knowledge, but everything I've ever needed to do with a video was easily found online via Google or YouTube. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people just don't even know what they need to do. They've got this video file that they know needs edited, and I'm finding a lot of people don't understand or realize that they have to, after editing out the portions they don't want, they have to render it and get it web ready. We're going to talk about those things in future modules, but I would just want you to understand that I'm going to give you an idea here in this video series of exactly the things you need to think about, and really, you're going to see it's very, very simple. Now, what you need to know, other than the most obvious of being able to splice out a section of your video that you don't want there. Maybe you misspoke. Maybe there was a pause to get your thoughts. I do that constantly, but I edit those things out. So that's one of the most basic video editing things you can do, which is splicing out a section of video. There isn't a video editor out there that does not have the clip or the splice function. It's something you can, like I said, go to Google or YouTube or the training for those software tools that I mentioned earlier in a previous module to simply say, how do I do that? So you know what you want to do, they'll show you how. The next thing is rendering. We'll talk more about that, but these days I want you to remember this, that typically your video should be rendered. After it's edited, you're going to render it or make it a movie into an MP4 format. We'll talk about some of the specifics here. But the very first thing of what you need to know how to do, other than what I've talked about up to this point, is really what's called floating text or a banner, which is really being able to brand you and put your name, or more specifically, your URL into your video. If you go watch any of my videos at followterry.com or on my YouTube channel, you'll see that I constantly float inside the video my web address, followterry.com. I wouldn't suggest putting a video anywhere, even if it's on your site, that doesn't at least brand you, your name, and specifically your web address. So that's all you really need to know how to do. I'm not going to show you that because it depends on the, what you want it to look like. It depends on the video software. But as long as you know how to float text or a banner at the bottom or really anywhere you want it in your video, then that you know that you have to do that. Now, I would not make a video without branding myself in the video in terms of course, not only saying my web address out loud when I start my videos, but floating it on the screen somewhere so people can say, I want more of what this person's doing. Or even if they don't specifically want more, they're going to see your web address and come on over to your website and see what you're doing. Who is this person, right? So it's a terrific thing to know how to put the branding of your web address in the video. The next thing is recording and rendering sizes. Now, I'm going to verbally give you a web address resource that I've learned probably 90% of this stuff from, okay? And it's not something that I necessarily am going to teach you here, but you need to go out and seek someone who teaches this in the best way. But rendering sizes are this. There's a ton of different ones, but why am I showing you these three? 1280 by 720, 960 by 540, and 600 by 360. Those are pixel widths and heights. 1280 wide, 720 tall. Here is why. I can take a 1280 by 720 video and render it, make a movie out of it after I've edited out the portions I don't want, or added my, like we just talked about, my floating text or my banner. And I can render that video at 780 by 7 or 1280 by 720, and then I can reduce it and put it into a player 960 by 540 or 600 by 360, and it does not add the black lines to the left and right or top and bottom. It doesn't distort your video. So it's easily taken from 1280 by 720 down to 600 by 360, and you can actually take it smaller than that. However, those are the standard sizes. Those are the 3 standard sizes I use. I record at 1280 by 720. Now, remember, okay, when I say record, I'm not talking about a live video. That's just recorded at HD. And then when I render it, I'll render it at 1280 by 720 or make a movie out of it in my software. You know, I'll basically publish it to an MP4 format at 1280 by 720, and then I can put it in a player that is smaller, 960 by 540, 600 by 360, or even smaller, and it doesn't distort the video. These are things that no one really told me about when I was starting, so it's something you want to pay attention to. And I'm going to give you a resource here because the next thing we talk about is also the place to learn this. It can get a little complex, but to learn what I'm going to talk about next. But the web address is, and this is not an affiliate link, this is a resource that I use. It's webvideouniversity.com. The guy's name is Dave Kaminsky, and he has basically his membership, which is Web Video University. It goes into depth in all of these things that you would ever really need to know. This video and my help towards you is showing you what you need to know. You're going to have to go out and Google or YouTube what you want to accomplish, and that's what I'm showing you here, or go out to somewhere like webvideouniversity.com and work with Dave Kaminsky. It's a membership site, and he literally shows you all of these things. That's where I learned it at. Now let's look at this next thing. This is what Dave is really good at, and this is what changed the game for me. When I render my videos, I get an MP4 format, but to really make them web ready and playable so they don't start and stop and load too long, what I use is a free tool. It's a software tool called Handbrake. If you go out to Google and Google Handbrake, you'll be able to download it for free, but the settings in that software is quite complex, and it can be very unique to what you're attempting to do. However, after I make this video in my software and I render it in an MP4 format, I then go run it through the Handbrake software, and that makes it web ready. So again, webvideouniversity.com, Dave walks through this entire concept of how to use Handbrake and also several other tools that you could use in place of Handbrake, paid tools, free tools, to be able to make your videos web ready. It's a huge thing that you're going to want to know and learn, and that's a terrific resource. Now let's talk about just a few of the tricks when it comes to video editing. It's not really much, okay? We've already talked about what you need to know, the basics, the core, the foundation. But check this out. One of the interesting things I do is I speed up the video before rendering it. Why would I do that? Well, it's going to be very clear when I show you a few things coming up here, but here's the idea. I oftentimes, in the beginning, would create a video and I'd be talking really fast and my ideas would all get run together, and I'd end up doing a lot of editing just to make my video work well. Nowadays, I do a couple different things. The very first thing I will do, which speeding up the video can fix, is I will talk very slow and articulate my words and allow myself to think as I'm talking slowly. Now, it sounds really weird when I talk that way, right? However, in my video editor, I can literally grab the end of the video and drag it to the left a little bit and shorten that video up, and it speeds it up. And it makes my words sound like I'm speaking right one after the other, when really what I was doing is articulating my words. Does that make sense? So speeding up or having the ability or understanding to know that you can do that can create a higher quality video. It can stop you from having to do a lot of editing afterward, like I did in the beginning. I'd have a 5-minute video and take 30 edits inside of it where I was clipping out portions because I was just messing it up and starting it over again. It's very common. So let's take a look at this. Here's where video editing and speeding up your video can really come into play. Let's talk about having a teleprompter. I'm going to show you a couple resources and show you exactly what I do, because think about this. If I script out my video and I read it off of a teleprompter while I'm recording, and I read it slowly, just like I said, articulate my words, I can then speed the video up just a little bit, and it doesn't sound like I'm reading, and all of my words are perfect, and my editing time goes down to almost nothing, because I don't have to clip out portions where I stumble over myself or say the wrong word, right? So let's take a look at this on the web, and I'll show you a few resources. The very first resource is a teleprompter that I use that I purchased on eBay. Like it shows here, it's about $150, and it works in conjunction with your HD camera, which you can see here. And I'll blow it up a little bit. You can see here, and the camera attaches to it, and it looks through this piece of glass. And what you do is you use an iPad. With Teleprompter Pro app or software. I'm going to show you that in a second. But this is just the best that I've seen. Now, they show you some of the different pictures, like this particular one where the cloth goes over top of it. I mean, all of this comes with the teleprompter when you buy it. All you need is an iPad, and all you need is the app that I'm going to show you next. This is the best way to do it. And I typically will just script out a video that is on a one-page sheet of paper. Just one page, I'll script out my video, do it. You get a 2-3 minute video out of it, and you're moving forward, you're taking action, you're putting together good quality videos, and it doesn't take a lot of time to do it. Also, not very expensive, just basic equipment. Do you need to do this in the beginning? Not at all. However, you'll find if you did use this tool, teleprompter, the app, an iPad, and speeding up your videos, you're going to find that really right out of the gate, you're going to create really good quality videos, get your message across positively and professionally. It's going to be easy for you. So it's all about making it easy. Let's take a look here. I've got two different pages up. It's the ProPrompter app for the iPad. You could also put it on your iPhone if you wanted to use it that way. But it's very, very simple to use. It's on the iTunes store. It's $9.99. It is more than worth it to be able to buy that $150 teleprompter that you can put on top of a tripod, strap your video camera to it, and you're running. And here's a little bit farther. It's the ProPrompter app. The website is Bodelin, BODELIN.com, but just search for the ProPrompter app and you'll be able to get it. You can download it for just about $10 here to your iPad, and you are up and running. You are up and running. It's so easy to just hit the button. It starts scrolling up the screen. You start reading it. It is just the best way to put videos together and make it easy for you, reduce your editing time, and make you really look professional. And it also, by scripting out your videos, not that you have to do that, because I only do that maybe 5% of the time, but it just helps, especially in the beginning. If I'd had this help, I think I would have built a lot more confidence a lot quicker than I did when I started out with video. So that's really it for tips and tricks. There are all sorts of other things you do, but this is the foundation. It's about getting a foundation built and having a system that you can work on a daily basis. So that's it for this module. I'll see you in the next video.